Today on Cityline, an Oscar night preview, but some moviegoers and movie stars alike are feeling snubbed by a lack of diversity among the nominations. So where do we go from here? Hello everyone, I'm Karen Holmes Ward. Welcome to Cityline. Well, the Oscars are only hours away, and Hollywood's power brokers are hoping their studios will walk away with the big prize. One film not getting the Academy accolades people expected, Selma, the film following Martin Luther King Jr.'s defining civil rights march in a segregated and violent Alabama. Many expected Ava DuVernay to be the first African-American female nominated for Best Director for her work. I sat down with her to discuss some of the more poignant and interesting directorial moments in the film. Take a look. I wanted to ask you about a couple of scenes in the movie that I thought were so beautifully done. At the very beginning of the movie, the scene in the church.
Yes.
Talk about that with the young girls.
Well, in the beginning of the film, you'll see a scene, and I won't give it away here, but it is a scene that's designed to put you into the space of being a black person in 1965 in the Deep South, the turmoil, the toxicity, the violence around people of color at that time. And so it is a startling opening, something that we hope grabs people and puts them right inside the story.
It just starts the movie off. You know, you're just stunned from that moment on. You're riveted.
Right.
Another scene I really liked how you did in the movie. I think at the time there were only 130 black people registered out of 150,000 blacks in the area, and there was a scene when all of the folks surrounding Dr. King were sitting around the table trying to figure out how they were.
Oh, you like that scene?
That was
I like to hear what scenes people like. That makes me happy.
Yeah, because you very craftfully illustrated all of the things that were holding people back from the voting process.
Right. Well, that scene was important to me, and there was a time when some folks that were giving me notes on the movie didn't like that scene, and it was very important, so I love hearing that you liked it. It does two things. It shows the strategy of Dr. King and his band of brothers and sisters. They were always thinking about what was next, tactics, creatively trying to be flexible in the way that they attacked the problem. But also it was a way to really illustrate all of the obstacles that faced people at that time. The scene shows you the kinds of things that people were up against to try to vote. You just think, oh, they couldn't vote. But when you really hear about the blockages and the blockades that were put in their way, it's amazing that this existed in this country 50 years ago. And so the scene gives a lot of information, but it's a fun scene too.
And I have to ask you, obvious parallels with what's going on in the news today.
Yeah. So, I mean, this cultural moment that we're in that's so robust with people in conversation for change, amplifying their voices, protesting. I mean, this is the stuff that Dr. King's dream is made of, you know, really getting out there and saying what we want and putting our backs into it and putting the blood, sweat, and tears into making it so. And so I think that he would be bolstered by the way that the communities around the country, around the world, really, have come together to amplify their voice. The problems haven't changed. They've strengthened, they've morphed, they've gained power in a lot of ways. But the people also have power, and the fact that people are now rallying around the causes that they believe in, I think would make him proud.
And, you know, because of the style of dress of the day, we always saw Dr. King in a suit, a top hat, and a tie. We think of him as an older person, but he was a very young man when all this was going on.
Yeah. At the time of our film, he was 36 years old, and he lost his life to a murderer who took his life when he was only 39. It's amazing when you think how young all of them were. John Lewis at the time was in his early 20s. It really just proves that protest is really built on the backs of young people who are, you know, unafraid to get out there and really do the work that needs to be done. So hopefully that the knowledge of his age activates young people to think of him not as this old man, you know, set in a black and white image and a speech that's kind of been used as a catchphrase, and really understand that he was a young person just like them, and he changed the world.
Now, while Ava did not receive a Best Director nomination for Selma, we wish the film the best of luck tonight. It's nominated for Best Picture and Best Song. So what was the reaction when the Oscar nominations were first announced? Not good. Stay tuned.